What's going on, everyone? This is Sheets, and I'm going to be going over the top values for Kentucky Derby Day. Um, there are some really, really good bets this year, and we're just going to get right into it. I'm not going to get into sheet theory or how I go about doing any of this. I know you guys want to get me to get right to it. And if you saw a previous version of this video, I figured I'd just do another one because there were a couple of scratches, and I just wanted to just kind of firm this up. Okay, so let's kind of get right to it. The first race, and we're just going to go kind of race by race here. And there are some races with good value and some with none, and we'll go over all of them. So race one, I think that the four Sturdy and the nine Bourbon Society and Coffee Talk are all pretty decent prices at 7-1, 5-1, and 9-2. If they get pounded too much, I would just ignore it. But I think this is a good way to kind of start off the card. Just get something under your belt here. I don't particularly like the Sandstone at all. So you start with the 4, the 9, the 11. If you want to throw a fourth one in, the 3, but this is a pretty solid way to kind of get going. The second race is an incredible value. It is volatile. So it's possible she runs dead last, but Izzy's Monster at 15-1 is just insane value. I mean, I give this horse about at 12%, no, maybe about 10% winning chances, and at 15-1, that's extraordinarily strong. So I definitely think that you should key Izzy's Monster. If you want, you could use those 4 horses or 3 horses in the first race with Izzy's Monster in doubles. Extremely strong value here. Okay, race number 3. Unfortunately, there's really not much at all. I would spread, go all. Don't even think I wrote down all of the horses to you. Yeah, I think I did. Like the 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11. I mean, pretty much anybody here. Um, Maybe even just go all, or maybe just don't even bet the race whatsoever and just stick with those daily doubles in races 1 and 2. Okay, moving on, race number 4. Race 4 has extremely strong value. So there are 3 horses here: the 5 King Cat, the 13 New King, and Castle Chaos. So 4, 5, 13 are extraordinarily strong. You could play them in exactas, trifectas, start new, pick 3s, pick 4s, pick 5s, whatever you want. I mean, Kentucky Derby, yeah, you could pretty much bet anything. But those 3 horses are incredible values. Race 5, not so much. Really very, very little value you could put in here. Who did I actually? I gotta see who I actually spread with, just so in case you do play this. I kind of saved some dummy bets here just in case. Yeah, so 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 9, maybe. Again, you don't want to rely on this, but just to hook up, previous good value with later good value. So 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 9. And just so we're clear, let me go back to that third race that I said was bad value, but I would use a bunch of horses. Let me just tell you which ones those would be: 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. So 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 would be just kind of the way to get out of that race alive. And then again, race 4, that really, really strong value piece in the 4, 5, 13. And then the 5th race, again, nothing really great there. But if you had to, just to get out of that race alive in long, pick 3s and 4s and stuff, it would be all actually. Yeah, I think I actually had all in this race, like all 10 horses. Race number 6. This one is another one that's really, really poor. So if you wanted to just be alive, I would use 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 9. But there's really no good value over there. Race number 7, on the other hand. So there are 2 total bombs in here that I probably make the two most likely winners of the race. And that would be the 10 Unconquerable Keen and the 12 Mischievous Road. So yeah, I will just leave it at that. You can bet them to win, bet exactas, they'll pay billions. That's why I gave you, in race 6, if you wanted to go all and then lead into race 7, I guess you could do that, but you're diluting a good opinion with a bad one if you kind of play that way. But yeah, in race number 7, 10, 12, absolutely very, very strong value. Race 8, the 3 is not bad. Bookham Dano at 8-1, I think is pretty good. But I don't know if you want to take too big of a stand here. So let me give you some others if you want to use, aside from the 3, you could use 2, 4, 5, 8, 10, 11. But 3 is definitely, best value of the bunch. Okay, race number 9. I think the 7 is pretty good chalk here at 4-1. He might end up being a little chalkier, but I think he's clearly the most likely winner. Um, uh, so I would definitely single him in pick 3s, pick 4s, or whatever. But again, if you're a little nervous and you wanted to spread a little bit, but let's say you really wanted to nail that previous value and you just wanted to get through race 9, the other horses you could use besides the 7 are 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, and 12. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, and 12. But 7 is definitely, very, very solid favorite here. Race number 10, this Derby City Distaff. The 2 Copion is a very, very intriguing 8-1 shot. And I make her definitely top value on this in this race. And then after that, again, you could spread quite a bit here. And that would be something like 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13. I mean, tons of horses. Okay. But the 2 Copion is definitely top value. And race 11, I think there are 4 horses in here that they're not that long, but I think they're really solid. And that would be, it's very interesting. 3 of them are trained by the same guy. So you have Integration, the 1, and then you have 3 horses all trained by Chad Brown. That would be the 4 Redistricting, the 7 Running Bee, and the 10 Spirit of St. Louis. Again, you're not going to be rich playing any of these. They're like 6-1s and whatever. But again, they're very solid, and you hope we can get you to the Kentucky Derby with something good going on. And then in the Kentucky Derby, so let's talk about this a couple of different ways. People do like to ask somehow, for some reason, hey, who do you like in the Derby? And it's kind of a tough thing to ask like a real horse player. Are you asking me who the best value is going to be, or who I think is going to win? And who I think is going to win is really not an important question. I mean, it's important for bragging rights, I guess, to say you picked the winner, but it's nothing. But I will answer you, and then I will also tell you best values. And in this case, it might actually be best value anyway, but actually probably not. The most likely winner of this race, for me, and it's not really close, is Sovereignty at 18. I don't know if you're going to get 9-1 on it, but I better than, I mean, I think it should be more like 4 or 5-1. But if you're getting 9-1, that might actually put this up towards best value. But the 9 is certain. I mean, the 18 Sovereignty certainly is the most likely winner as far as I'm concerned. However, I have 3 other horses to give you that are even better value. And I suggest you use Sovereignty with all 3 of these other horses. So Burnham Square, the 9, is, I actually think, you could argue is the second most likely winner of the race. And it's 16-1. I mean, that's pretty nuts. And then 2 others, just total bombs. Well, 3 others actually. I'm sorry, I have to give you 5 horses. Baeza, who just drew in at 18-1, he's very strong. And then you have the 20 Owen Almighty at 39-1. I think that's really, really big. And then the 2 Neo Equos at 47-1. So you play 5 horses in this race, all huge long shots, with the exception of, I guess, Serenity, and that should get you enough. Okay, that gets you in business. And listen, if you want to be crazy, you could do a 5 horse trifecta box, all 5 of them. You get them for $1 at $60. And if that comes in, it's paying 20,000 plus. So that is definitely something I would consider doing. And that's pretty much all I have. I'm not going to do the races after the Kentucky Derby. That's not interested in that. And that's going to do it. Good luck, everybody.